Hey everybody, Dan and Leslie back for another video, this time headed to Universal.
We got to experience the brand new Universal's Great Movie Escape over at Universal CityWalk in Orlando, and it was incredible.
This thing literally just opened. In fact, we got in a day before it opened to check everything out with limited crowds and the idea of getting a sneak peek that we could pass on to you and figure out if this is something that would be great for your next vacation.
The kind of concept here is they are two escape rooms. They are themed after two iconic films or film industries, which is Back to the Future and Jurassic World. You know, going into this, I had a lot of questions. I've done escape rooms before, and I really wondered how Universal would step up and handle this.
I think first and foremost, to me, the thing that stands out is that it is a little pricier than other escape rooms that we have done in the past, and we were wondering if that value is really going to be there. We had a feeling that it probably would because of the level of production quality that Universal typically puts into their attractions, and we'll have to wait till after we come back to figure out if that is true or not. However, this thing you can do two ways. So in each group that goes through, you can have up to 8 people going through. So you can either rent out the entire escape room for your group, regardless of if that's 4 people or 8 people. And that is, it's all date-based pricing, but that is gonna be a lot cheaper per person if you have 8 people than if you do the individual tickets where you're not guaranteed to only be with your party. In fact, you'll probably be paired up with other parties, which we were yesterday.
With the individual per person price, so the non-private experience, you can have up to 6 people in your group. If you have more than that, you will be split up. The pricing starts for that individual per person pricing $49.99 per person if it's a matinee, so like before 5 p.m., or $59.99 per person if it is after 5 p.m. Once again, date-based, so in the more popular seasons, this is gonna be more expensive.
They are actively selling tickets for this, and you can buy them in advance and book your window. In fact, you called to check and see what the pricing was for February of 2023.
Yes, so for a private event in February of 2023, it was running about $380 or so. And then if they did a per person pricing, it was about $68 per person. So it goes to show that it does fluctuate based on popularity of the time of year that you're planning on going.
So, I mean, $380, if you do have 8 people in there, the per person price is, you know, just north of $40 as opposed to $68. So I feel like that is a pretty good value if you're going to really maximize a group of 8.
I'm a fairly stingy person, I would say. So going...
We have budgets that we
Yes.
adhere to.
So going into this, I thought, holy smokes, I'm just not sure if it's going to be worth that amount of money, and is the value actually there? But there is only one way to find out, so let's go check this thing out.
Let's go.
Drink and I'm ready.
We collaborated with our filmmakers on these and Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures to come up with unique stories that actually are very authentic, that expand the brands themselves and bring you and put you actually in those environments with those characters of those wonderful films. We actually fit the size of the experience to the group that goes through, so everybody is involved, nobody feels like they're left out. At the same time, we can randomize the experience so everything is different every time you come. And the last point that we loved is that we can adjust the game level or the experience level for beginners and experts. So anybody who goes everybody has a great time together.
That was incredible. So there's definitely some changeability here where you go through different rooms. It's a little different than like the normal escape room that I've been in before, where you just go into a room and you have to start opening things and like trying to figure out the clues. Like they guide you a little bit. It's a little bit more of a story.
There's a story for sure. Yeah.
Scenario A, and all of your puzzles were scenario A. When you come back, you might get assigned scenario C. And it's like, oh, these are totally new locations I have to save. These are totally new embryos I have to save. And that's what's cool, is that when you come back, it'll be different from first time, second time, however many times you do it. There's that random kind of reset where you can always experience something new going in.
So we did the Jurassic World one first, and it was phenomenal. There's special effects in there, all the rooms, and multiple rooms are done very, very well. I knew Universal would do a very good job at creating all the effects, but we were blown away.
Blown away.
I'm Ryan. I am an entertainment production manager, so I got to see everything in production, right? From concept all the way through to today.
Awesome. What led you guys to starting with these two like iconic movies?
We wanted to pick something that everyone was going to want to come out and see and be immersed in, but we also wanted something that they were very different, right? Because you want two very different experiences. In Jurassic World, it's very future forward and tech heavy, and you're coming in as geneticists and you're getting a chance to DNA splice and feed dinosaurs, whereas you transition to Back to the Future, and that's a lot more practical, right? You've got Doc, you've got his zany inventions. Things don't always happen as they're supposed to, so a little bit more practical puzzles and things along that nature. So two iconic films, two iconic franchises, but two very different experiences for our guests. We didn't want to take your traditional escape room approach. We wanted something that all groups could get a chance to experience and enjoy. I love escape rooms, but I have family members that I try and drag to them and they're like, I don't want to go, right? Like, because it can be intimidating. You don't want to feel like you failed something, or you don't want to feel like you didn't have necessarily something to do, and that's not the case here at the Great Movie Escape. We wanted something that all ages had something to do, all group sizes had something, and then all levels of expertise. Whether you are a novice that have never had a chance to do an escape room before, or whether or not you are an expert gamer that's coming in like, I'm gonna solve everything, I got this, right? We wanted to make the gameplay a little bit leveled and make it so that way all groups, all sizes, all experiences had a chance to do something and have a great experience.
All right, so we're back and we cannot wait to tell you all about these two escape rooms. But first,
if you are looking to plan your next magical vacation, whether it's Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, or all-inclusive resorts, please reach out to us. Our travel advisors are amazing. Anybody on our team would be happy to help. You can find us over at fantasticalvacations.com. So if you are wanting to book one of these escape room things as well, your travel advisor can absolutely help you. So make sure that you reach out to them for that.
All right, so let's talk about our experience. We were there about 12:15 and we checked in and we had two escape rooms that were separated by a fair bit of time that we could maybe interview some of the creative directors and then also get a bite to eat. And so we did the Jurassic World escape room.
Whoa, slow your roll. First, we just entered into the building. Can I tell you how just like the attention to detail just in the lobby area, there is a bar that has tons of specialty cocktails. We were able to try one of them.
There's two bars.
Yeah, there's two bars. There's an upstairs and a downstairs bar. We got to try the hoverboard highball, which was delicious. But there are tons of specialty cocktails. I can't wait to just go and sit at this bar and grab a quick drink because you don't have to have tickets to the experience to go in and just grab a drink.
Yeah, that's true. As long as the bar is operating, we asked the bartender. He said, "No, you don't have to have tickets. You can just come on in." The lobby is themed to like a movie theater, right? Mm-hmm. And so as soon as you walk in, there are display cases that have different costumes from the different characters in the different movies, which are very, very cool. Again, the bars have themed drinks, but then when you go past those display cases, you've got merch that are in little kiosks that you can purchase there. You've got a check-in desk where you can check into your reservation. And then off to the left, you've got kind of like a waiting area, and there's this giant, what looks like a curtain that would be hiding a screen. And so on the screen, they project trivia. The downstairs is where the Back to the Future escape room is, and the upstairs is where the Jurassic World escape room is.
Yes.
So first up, We did Jurassic World.
All right, so in this story, and no worries, you're not going to have any spoilers. We're not going to ruin it for you, but
They didn't even allow us to film
No.
or record anything inside the escape room.
But I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. So you are essentially a geneticist, and you're going into the Biogen lab and helping out with some things with the dinosaurs. So you're actually set like in Jurassic World, in Isla Nublar, and you're inside the laboratory.
Yeah, one thing I love about both of these escape rooms is that the reset of all of the different rooms, like you're going through around 8 or so rooms for each escape room. There are these rooms that you're moving through, which does a couple of things. It allows them mainly to, I think, push more people through. So you can finish one room, you can go to the next room, and they can send another party to start in after you, which is nice. So they can like get that flow going through there.
And they can, help more people, so more people can.
But the reset for these rooms is fantastic because other escape rooms we've been to, it's like a manual reset where they're going in and putting in clues, and like we've been to escape rooms where they've just forgotten to reset the clues. There's so much technology in these two escape rooms that it's basically an automatic reset. So you can be pretty well assured that the room is going to be set up properly when you get in. And because it's all technology heavy, they can randomize the experience. So if you
Which is so cool.
yeah, if you do these escape rooms multiple times, you're going to have a different experience every single time.
Yeah, we were a little worried because we were doing it the first time without the kids. We were worried that whenever we take them back that we were going to already know all the secrets, but now we know that it'll be a totally different experience. I mean, within the realms of what they're able to do.
It's meant to be about an hour experience. There are different levels that you can set yourself. So if you've done this multiple times, you can ask to be set to a higher like expert level, or you can just go in like we did as beginners. And that will dictate like the level of complexity of the puzzles within each room. Every room has something that you have to do or figure out or experience before you can move on to the next room. And if you take too long, the game itself will kind of prod you along. It will just automatically like override whatever you're doing, and it will let you go on to the next room. So it's meant to be one way only. Once you enter one room and you go to the next room, you're not going back because there's other groups coming through. And then you can get rescued from a room if you really have to get out of there. You basically hold your arms as an X pattern over your head. But other than that, you're just getting pushed through. So you do get to see every room, regardless of if you figure out the puzzle or not.
I've been asked by several of my clients on difficulty level if little kids would be able to do this. And I think that, yes. I think that the complexity is probably a little higher, I would say, on the Back to the Future one, as far as kind of having to figure things out a little bit differently. But, and there are a couple of rooms, even in the Jurassic World one, that I feel like maybe would have been a little tougher. But what's nice is that you do have that narrator in both escape rooms that is with you all along the way, and they come on the screen and they tell you things, and they give you pretty heavy hints on like kind of what you're supposed to be doing. And then like Dan said, if you're not getting it, it will the automated thing will prod you along.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on how little is little, right? So
Yeah.
I think like our 16-year-old could do it by himself.
Oh, sure.
Our 11-year-old, I think he could definitely do it, but I think either the 16-year-old or all four of us would need to be in there to maybe give him some pointers, like look there, like do this. And then, I don't know, much younger than about 8 or 9, like you're definitely going to need an adult presence there. Like, here, press this, do this. There are some special effects and there are some strobe lights in there. So just know that going in.
Our next room that we got to do was the Back to the Future Out of Time. And essentially you are transporting through time with the assistance of Doc and his lab person. And you're going back and trying to save something.
This one was really cool. Again, it had about 8 rooms or so, but you go in all the time periods across all the movies, which is just super fun.
That's really cool.
One thing I'll say, these rooms that you're going through, they're not super huge, especially with all the props and moving around that you have to do. We had 6 people in our group, and I felt like for 6 full-size adults, that's probably a good As far as like spacing goes, that's probably where I would want to be. 8 would feel a little cramped to me. Now, if you had 6 adults and a couple of kids, maybe it would work. Plus the number of like workstations and puzzle like areas, I think 6 was a good fit for that.
Yeah, they did say that they can kind of adjust it depending on the party size so that everyone feels like they are playing a part.
So let's wrap it up. Final thoughts over the overall experience. I definitely think it's worth it, 100%. Even like, I mean, $68 a person seems a little bit steep because that's a little bit more than double or half of what you're gonna spend to go into a Universal Park for all day. And we're talking about a 1-hour experience, but it is very hands-on, very interactive, very, very cool. The special effects, the attention to detail, just everything just seamlessly works. And if you're familiar with any escape rooms, I'm sure you've been in one or two that maybe were a little hastily put together on a budget, perhaps,
Yes.
and this is not that.
Yeah, the production value is out of this world. They're the same. Many of the same people that work on like the Halloween Horror Nights and the marquee events, Christmas, Mardi Gras, all of that are really just spectacularly done over at Universal. They had a hand in this, and they really took part in the planning over the last 2 years of building these 2 rooms, and they did a superb job.
100% think it's worth it. If you don't want to do both, I personally enjoyed the Back to the Future one better.
That's probably the one that I would say is my favorite.
But I think that's just my personality. I think
Yeah.
I just, between the 2 IPs, I prefer Back to the Future because Jurassic World was phenomenal
It
too.
really was.
So I'd say go one room is not significantly better or worse than another one. So I'd say go with whatever IP that you are most familiar and the one that you appreciate the most, or your family.
And if you're an annual pass holder, you do get a discount, so make sure you ask for that.
Yes, I think 15% is what they said, isn't it?
think so.
And we bought a mug while we were there, and we got a 15% discount, annual pass holder discount on that as well.
Yeah. So if you are liking these videos, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss our next one.
And we will see you on the next video.